Since people seem to like the last video on the subject of how to learn to fight, I thought I'd do another one. Now, fighting, protecting yourself, being able to restrain aggressive people or otherwise deal with situations is pretty much a basic human skill. And like many basic human skills, it's one that a lot of people don't have in the modern era. So if you grew up learning to fight, great. Um, Lucky you. But if you don't, well, if you didn't, well, how might you go about it? Well, one method is to take a self-defense course, but aside from the fact that not all of those are that good, it's better to kind of learn to fight generally, and then you can apply that to self defense situations. So, once again, I recommend the first thing you learn is Western style boxing because you can deal with multiple opponents. It's simple. A lot of us white guys and oddly enough black guys have seem to have some instinctive affinity with it, and it's really only four punches, how to cover and how to move, and you've pretty much got it. The rest is nuance and practice, and it's also legally and often socially more acceptable than any other form of hitting someone. Basically, if you kick someone in the head, well, for one thing, it's harder to pull off. But for another thing, people might say, well, that's cheating, that looked too fancy. Or the police might say, hey, the shod foot is a lethal weapon and we're charging you with a felony, even though if you'd punched him, it would be self defense. And believe me, that happens a lot. Now, and statistically, fair enough. So that's one thing, boxing. Another thing is some kind of grappling, wrestling, otherwise moving the opponent's body around art. And for that, I once again recommend judo. For one thing, it's very simple as well. It's basically two throws. The pushing back while taking a leg and the pulling past you while turning him on his back throw. Just two throws, and the rest is nuance and practice, and a few other things like holds and chokes and so on. But the main um, benefit of judo in comparison to Brazilian jiu jitsu or even wrestling is that it encourages you to maintain a tall stance, stay on your feet, and throw the opponent down. Don't go down with them. Don't attempt to fight from the ground in a real fight. I mean, what are you, a house cat? And if you do go down, make sure you're going down on top of your opponent. And if you're taken down, then get up. That's what judo encourages. So do that rather, and then maybe you can learn Brazilian Jiu Jitsu in case you're involuntarily taken down if you need to. Because, yeah, you don't want to be going down because, you know, there could be a thousand bad things. What if your opponent has a friend that you didn't see and he kicks you in the head? Well, that's all she wrote. Now, then, what I would do is, since you would then know how to fight, you then need to learn common self defense situations that just knowing how to fight may not prepare you for because they're somewhat unique and you may not be able to think of a counter in the particular situation. Like, what if someone's holding a knife to your throat against a wall? Well, boxing may or may not help there, so you want to know what to do. What if a bigger guy is pushing you off a railway station platform? What if a lot of things? How to evade attacks with a bat or a knife? And now where you learn that these days, I'm not sure because most self defense tactics are comically bad. I was lucky enough to learn the Western martial arts techniques, coming down from people like William Fairburn and Rex Applegate, those sort of people. I learned from an instructor in New Zealand back in the 90s. There's hopefully good instructors where you are, but I don't know. But it's that sort of thing. So, and then you might learn basic holds or restraints in case you find yourself in a bouncer or security guard type situations, and you'd be surprised when that can happen. So if you do all that and you've got a few friends or a good club to practice with, well, then that's pretty good. You can, in short order, if you appreciate the patterns of it, you appreciate boxing as basically four punches and how to cover and how to move, etc. Judo is two throws. Then you should be able to learn to be to a pretty high standard pretty quick. Talk to you later.